Further ado, it is my good pleasure to announce the inventor and founder of VoxxLife, Mr. Jay Dhaliwal.
Thank you to all of you for finding time on your amazingly busy schedules, away from family, friends, and the things that we have to do on Saturday mornings. I would be remiss and unforgivable if I didn't thank Terry, Jen, Sylvia, Paul Austin, the team at head office, Marcel, Ted, everybody that makes this possible. It's humbling to see so many new friends, old friends, and soon to become new wonderful friends here this morning. It's quite emotional for me because this journey for me is such a personal thing. It was a very solitary journey for a number of years. How many of you know why I started this business? Anybody have an idea? Okay. That's great. So many of you don't. But before I begin that story, I'm going to share something with you which will help you understand why we do these things. This is something that Ralph Waldo Emerson said many, many years ago, and I think it really speaks to why we're doing what we're doing. He said, the purpose of life is not to be happy. It's to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate. To have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. There is a resonance of clarity and truth for me in that statement. That we are here to help each other. Above and beyond anything else that we do in that microcosm of time and space, which is our lifetime here. There is an eternity above and beyond this. That we are all connected, that we are all brothers and sisters, that we are all here to help each other. And that's what this mission is about. This is what this journey is about. This story, this mission, this journey is about a 13-year-old boy who wanted to help his mom walk again. That's what this is about. So in 1983, I was 13 years old. I come home to find my mom, 36-year-old, vibrant, strong woman, in a wheelchair. We'd known that Mom had been struggling with issues, walking, balance, stability for a number of years. And then progressively she was diagnosed about a year and a half before that with multiple sclerosis, and her precipitous fall in terms of her health and well-being from walking and standing to wheelchair in 13 and a half, 14 months. It's completely devastating and confusing for a young boy. Because you don't know, right? And 13-year-olds, we have a lot of questions. And we want to challenge everything. It's that defiance of not accepting, of saying this couldn't happen. And that sense of, and I look back on it, a sense of injustice, that why her, why me, why us? Right? And you look, and there's your dad, young guy, working hard to support his family. I have a younger brother, a younger sister. And you wonder, and different things go through your emotions and different minds. And you wonder, why did this happen? And no one has an answer. That's the reality of the universe. Sometimes you don't know the answer right away. But if you keep asking, you'll find an answer and you'll find the purpose to those questions. So, I'm one of those people that everything, and Terry talked on it, I have OCD, so you'll get to know that. Guilty. Everything, if I care, it starts renting space in my head. Right? So, it's one of those background, when we open up a lot of apps on our phone or our computer, I've got one of those things always running in the back of my head. And one of those things was MS, was neurology, was, what the hell? Why did this happen? Okay? So let's fast forward. Number of years, I went to school, went to university, had an amazingly blessed academic career. I was fortunate enough to work in technology for the majority of my career right out of school. I worked with some of the largest software companies in the world in encryption and programming and coding. I had a natural affinity for it. I could always see patterns in chaos. Do you ever see those little staticky boards? Can you see the picture in here? Right? I can always see the picture. Right? My kids bought this book, says, can you spot out Waldo, those little books? Right? I went through it in like 30 seconds, I circled every one, I said, here's your book back. Waldo can't hide from me, I see everything. It's not fair, but too bad. Right? We all have our gifts. Some are great athletes, I can see Waldo. This is what it is. So, fast forward a number of years, I'm running this amazing IT research firm in Toronto, having a great time, great career, great family. Everything's wonderful. My mom still got MS. And I've taken my mom to every corner of the world. I've carried her in my own arms, up the staircase, down the staircase, to the tub, out of the tub, since I was 13 years old. If somebody said there was a special treatment in the far corner of the United States, the far corner of the world, Mom, we gotta go. I got it. I think she got tired of going. She's like, son, they'll figure it out. I said, listen, well, maybe this guy has figured it out. Why? Because you can't lose hope. Okay? Hope is the universe, the big guy upstairs, whispering to you that this will pass. Whatever it is you're in, it will pass. But your job is to keep marching and keep working. So, getting back to 2008. 2008, I'm in Toronto on Front Street. We had this great office, and I get a call from a good friend of mine. We always get those calls from great friends, right? You got to see this amazing thing. You got to come down. We're at the King Eddie Hotel across the street. I said, that's convenient. You got to just come across the street, and you got to see this. There's this guy's. He's made this amazing mouth guard that's helping people with performance. I'm like, we ever say, I'm busy, right? Well, you're here because a friend asked you to come here. Same story. You relent. You give in. He's like, hey, he's asked me 3 or 4 times I should go. He's just excited. So I go, and I met this neuromuscular dentist, and they were designing this oral orthotic, a splint mouth guard type product that was helping people with TMJ and TMD issues. Anybody know what that is?
Yes.
Right. It's no fun. A side benefit they were seeing from this product was improvements in balance and stability and range of motion. And so they had a pretty cool idea. They're like, you know what, hey, maybe we should make a mouth guard and we can give it to athletes who need all of these great things. And I'm like, well, that's a pretty good idea. All I'm thinking about is, hey, these guys are getting a neuromuscular response to strength, balance, range of motion. Maybe I can help my mom. There's that OCD kicking in, right? I'm like, tell me more. Right? Got my curiosity. So that was my foray into neuromuscular science. Didn't know anything. An old code guy. They used to call us propeller heads. They call coders propeller heads. Geek. All those different. Anyways, I was the cool geek. Anyways, so I go home that day and I told my wife, listen, I found something. I think I really like it. I think I'm thinking about quitting my job. She's like, whoa. What do you mean? I said, this is really exciting. I really like this. Our brother-in-law's here. The whole family was not too keen on me doing these crazy things. They're like, wait a minute, you got a great job. You got a great career. What do you think? And I said, there's something here. You ever have that feeling? There's no evidence. There's no anything, but something here is telling you that this is what you got to do right away, right now.
Yes.
Right? That's the universe whispering to you. This is your calling, this is your purpose. I'm fortunate that I listened. So I hung up my IT shingle and I got into this head first. And imagine having to think about breathing. Inhale, exhale, exhale. Life would be very complicated. We probably couldn't function. Okay? So, the way that we're built is brilliant. The brainstem and the different nuclei take care of all these things. And the brainstem works the best when it's at homeostasis. Homeostasis is a fancy word for equilibrium and rest. Okay? When a system is not excited or not suppressed, it works the best. We've all heard that relaxed athletes play better. You've heard that? Right? Because they're even. The system is operating at its optimal level. So what our technology does The superficial stimulation on the bottom of the feet is trigger a response in the brainstem to get it to homeostasis. So what does that mean? That means our balance is improved, our stability is improved, our range of motion is improved, our body's natural pain-fighting mechanisms are improved. We're just allowing our bodies to operate the way that they should. It's a little like factory reset, okay? Or as coders say, Control-Alt-Delete. You get a program gets stuck in the computer, nothing's working, what do we do? Control-Alt-Delete, right? And process, and right? Because it's not working, it's stuck. So we got to get it unstuck. The only way to do it other than this is drugs, electricity, surgery. Kind of drastic. So we want to stay away from that. Right? So as we're looking at this and looking to develop this, and this, you know, what I'm explaining is taking a long time. When I started looking at different ways to activate the nervous system, we looked at all the different receptors over our body, okay? Specifically on the bottom of the feet, because it's the hotbed of receptors. So there are receptors called mechanoreceptors. There's half a dozen different classifications of mechanoreceptors. There are things called dermatomes, which are nerve endings. There are things called acupuncture, acupressure. You guys heard of those?
Yeah.
Right. There's a lot of things happening all our body that send signals to our system. So one of the first studies that I read was done at the University of Victoria by Professor Inglis and Professor Kennedy. And they did a study of mapping different mechanoreceptors on the bottom of the feet. And they made a conclusion. The conclusion was that these receptors play some role in stability and balance. More research needs to be done. Trick question. Was any more research done? No.
No.
You didn't do it. I called them. I said, hey, where's the rest of the research? They go, we didn't do any. I said, okay, why not? They went into something else. Because many times the purpose of research is exploratory, but not purposeful. They don't ask the question, so what? Right? Let's go back to helping people. Let's go back to the purpose of why we do what we do. Why do anything if there's no net benefit to anybody? It doesn't have to be yourself. I said, well, that's kind of sad. Anyways, we took that research. We kept exploring. There's more research done at a school called Harvard in the United States. Professor Antoli, I've spoken to all these people. He did a study and he mapped brain activity on fMRI. Anybody know what fMRI imaging is? Right? fMRI imaging is blood flow and activity level, but they can actually look at the brain and see what part of the brain is more active or less active. And they did it based on acupuncture points on the bottom of the feet. Pretty cool. Beautiful imagery. And their conclusion was that specific acupuncture points have very specific brain activity. More research needs to be done. Trick question. Any more research done? No. Okay. There's a pattern here. You'll see it. So, say more research done on dermatomes, acupressure, chiropractic neurology. And all of this information and research sits in these buckets all over the world. And none of them are referencing each other, okay? That's the scary part and the sad part. So I'm the mechanoreceptor dude out in BC. My stuff's real, your acupuncture stuff's not real. It's called academic bias. Because everybody's trying to be the smartest guy in the room. Or woman in the room. I don't want to sound sexist. But most of these guys are guys and they're pretty self-absorbed. Just what it is. That's been my experience the last 8 years. So what does that mean? That means nothing's getting done. So here's all of these different receptors on the bottom of the feet, and the experts would have us believe that they have nothing to do with each other. Sounds preposterous. So that was the first assumption that we made, that they are integrated and that they must work together. Right? And we knew that if we could figure out what could happen, if we could figure out the integration, because we had that success with the oral orthotic, we knew what it was doing. It was just accessing that. So we had the lighthouse of the benefits of the oral orthotic guiding us in our development. We had all this information sitting in all these different buckets that we had to figure out. So it took 6 years, that time, a lot of resources, to figure out that integration. So we figured it out. figured out how to combine these different types of receptors in a sequence, in number and count, in a very gentle touch on the bottom of the feet, which triggers a response in our nervous system to get the brainstem to homeostasis. So know that the nervous system is electrical based, okay? So the response is instant. This isn't a supplement, this isn't protein, this isn't an exercise regimen where you have to take it for 30, 60, 90 days and you'll see something. You're going to feel it right away. And the reason that's important in today's day and age is people need help now. They need help immediately. How many of us have tried things for 30, 60, 90 days? How many of us didn't really see the before and after to the degree that we wanted? Dan and I have tried many 30-day transformations. Don't always get the results you want, right? Because the hardest thing to do is change. Change our habits, change our routines, change our processes of what we do, change our lifestyles, okay? That's the reason we decided to put technology in the socks. No change required. You wear socks, wear these socks. Second criteria, make it affordable. How many has been exposed to amazing products and services that we just couldn't afford? Right? Kind of sad. Goes away from our ethos and our mission of trying to help a billion people. If we are in service to our creed, to our brothers and sisters, then why would we make something so expensive that no one could enjoy it or get the benefits from it? It defeats the purpose. Okay? We've had discussions with some experts. Your products are underpriced, Jay. They should be $100 plus. And we say, well, what about helping people? They said, well, what about profit? I said, you got it backwards. If we help enough people, everything takes care of itself.
Right.
I've proven that over and over and over and over and over. I did that when I was selling software, working with large IT. People said, Jay, why are you so successful? What's the secret to your success? I said, simple. I just completely capitulate to the needs and wants of the people I'm trying to help. I genuinely want to help them. I ask them what they want, how they want it, when they want it, and how much they can afford. And I go back to my tool chest and say, well, you want 4 things, I got 3. Is that good enough? Yes or no? Sometimes I had all 4, sometimes I had 2. But if we can bring ourselves to be completely genuine in wanting to help people, you will overcome barriers and cross chasms you never thought possible. Because people recognize authenticity. I call it vitamin A. Okay? Vitamin A is critical to our well-being. Authentic. Be genuine. Because I'll tell you, there's something in your brain called an oblongata. It sits in your medulla. Okay? It is the world's greatest BS detector. Clinical. Okay? It recognizes patterns you consciously can't even recognize, but it sees it. How many of us met people who've been in a situation where you didn't feel comfortable? Yeah? You don't know what it was, but you're like, I don't like this. I gotta go. Right? That's your oblongata tripping your flight response saying, you know what? We figured this out before you did, genius. Get out of here. I leave. That's how sensitive our system is. It's perfect. We have to listen to it. How many times have you been in a situation you meet somebody and you're completely comfortable? You feel welcome, you feel warm, right? Your oblongata process that as truth and trust. And the only thing that gets past that BS detector is authenticity and genuineness. Because you can't fake it. Okay? How many of you heard that adage that personally I can't stand? Fake it till you make it. You ever heard that? Those people are never successful. Okay? Be who you are. Be genuine. And that's what I tell people that work with us. Be genuine. If you honestly believe that our product technology can help somebody, I'm going to say something, it's a pretty bold statement. If you honestly believe that this product can help somebody, yourself or somebody you know or care about or anybody in your life, you have a moral obligation to share this with them. They can decide whether they want it or not. If you believe it can help them. Now this comes to genuineness, okay? If you genuinely believe this can help them, you have a moral obligation to share this with them. If you don't believe that this can help them, don't waste your time. Right? Don't cross that barrier of genuineness. If it's right for them, they will identify the product sells itself. You don't have to do anything. Just introduce it to them. Okay? And when you do that, you never compromise yourself. You never compromise your integrity. You're not selling anything. You're sharing wellness. And everybody that works, I tell them, listen, don't force anything down anybody's throat. That's why we've structured the business that we did, the way we did. We don't force anybody to do anything they don't want to do. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to do anything. There's no magic sock fairies that leave socks on your door every month. It doesn't happen. It's not right. Right? It's not aligned with what we're trying to do. People say, we've had experts, Dan and I had experts from all over the network marketing world. You have to do this auto ship thing. It's blah, blah, blah. It's the lifeblood of the business. It's the lifeblood of your business. The lifeblood of our business are the people we're helping. Because when something helps us, we can't help but tell everybody about it. Isn't that true? What's better than that? I don't need a complex sales pitch. Hey, dude, this really helps. You got to try this. If it doesn't help, you get your money back. Can we do that?
Yes.
Pretty easy, right? That's what we're trying to do. And when people who need it use it, they never forget you, they never forget the product, and they thank you for it. And that's what we're trying to do. And Terry talked about helping 1 billion people. There's a reason the goal is 1 billion people, guys. Anybody want to guess why? Go ahead, right there.
That's the number of people in the world.
No, there's 7 billion people in the world.
Okay, I don't do math wrong.
It's okay, huh?
I've got math going on already.
I get it.
now.
It's your tipping point.
It's our tipping point. It's our tipping point. Then they, who's they? You know who they are. The they. Then they can't do anything about it. Right?
Yeah.
Then you become ingrained in the wellness. You've become the Kleenex. You've become that household name where they can't force the pain pills down their throat, people's throat. They can't recommend expensive solutions that bankrupt people. They can't. Because the rubber band of wellness, guys, I don't know if you guys are aware, but we live this every day. The rubber band of wellness is stretched so thin. On one end are people that need help. On the other end are people that want to help, practitioners. People that need help can't afford it.
Right.
The people that want to deliver help can't afford to deliver it. The rubber band is the system. And who's the system? The system are regulations, it's government, it's rules, it's the FDA, it's pharmaceutical companies. It's a big system. But you know the system can't beat? Can't beat you. Can't beat your intention. Right? And they're going to wake up one day and know that, hey, people aren't buying as many pain pills anymore. People aren't sick anymore. They're feeling better. That's why it's 1 billion. Because then they can't overcome it. And any mission that we have has to be bigger than ourselves, right? Because if it's not bigger than ourselves, then it ends with us. Right? And this can't end with me. That's not why this is here. So people say, what's your plan for the business? I said, the business is in itself. This technology is a gift to me, and it's my job to share it. So if anybody have questions, the business is not for sale. We turned down licensing agreements with some of the largest apparel makers and footwear makers in the world.
Good for
Because
you.
their mission is not aligned with ours. Right? What do you want to do? We want to help athletes perform better. And I'm like, why does the multi-billion-dollar athlete need my help to score another goal? Doing okay, right? I want to help my mom get out of her wheelchair. I want to help your mom get out of her wheelchair. I want your neighbor to be able to walk with their family and their kids and enjoy the few days that we have left. That's it. That's the purpose, right? But it all starts with our intention, right? So people say you're not structured the typical network marketing way. I said, that's right, for a reason. We're not a typical network marketing company. Right? So you can't change the world, Jay. And I said, I already did.
One person
You
at
just don't know.
a time.
One person at a time. And now it's 100 people at a time. And tomorrow it's going to be 1,000 people at a time. So I'll give you a quick stat. We started June 18th last year. To date, 110,000 people helped. Already. So what does that mean? In 6 months, we've become, if you look just at socks, okay? Just socks. And we're not really a sock company, we're a technology company. We just happen to use socks to deliver. In 7 short months, we are in the top 10% of sock companies in the world. At the end of the year, we'll be in the top 2% of sock companies in the world. And next year, we'll be the #1 sock company in the world.
Yeah.
And I say we, I mean all of us, okay? All of us. And it's going to happen because our intention and purpose is resolute. Those that know me, not only do I have OCD, I'm pretty purposeful. Some call it stubborn. It's okay. It gets stuff done. Right? So I thank you for coming. Try us out.